Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, we will gonna be present our presentation in topic bilangan pengeluaran pasport Malaysia mengikut kategori. So, before we started our presentation, I'm gonna show you our team member. We have 4 members in our team. Okay, the first member is SYAHIR bin AZIZON. His student ID is 2021494648. He take part on doing the pivot table and statistic, which is in chapter 3 and chapter 4. Okay, the second member is NURUL FARAHIN binti ABDULLAH. Her student ID is 2021822894. She taking part on doing the data visualization on the TABLEAU. The third one is ISMALIZA binti Muhammad YUSOFF. Her student ID is 2021461664. She also taking part on Microsoft Excel, which is in chapter 2 for Excel basic skills. And the last one is me, NURZAHIDAH IZZATI binti RAMLI. My student ID is 2021822792. I'm also doing the part on TABLEAU and in charge for this presentation. Okay, first thing first, I'm gonna show you how we do the pivot table. Firstly, the main function of a pivot table in Excel is to summarize and analyze large amounts of data quickly and easily. It allows us to rearrange, manipulate, and summarize data from a spreadsheet or database into a more organized and meaningful format. Okay, here I'm gonna show you on how to do the pivot table. First, just click here and click the insert, choose the table, click pivot table, and it actually automatically will change. Will choose for you either it will change to table or range. Just click here, new worksheet, and okay. And after that, it will be like this. And you can just drag the all of these field into the areas below. For example, like this tahun, and like for the bulan also. And then for biasa, warga emas, kanak-kanak, and so on. You just do this. Just complete it on the field areas below, and then until that we got the whole complete of pivot table. And after we doing all of this pivot table, after we fill in all of this in the section below, if you want to make it more visualized, we can click here, pivot table analyze. Okay, and then choose pivot chart here, and you can see there's a lot of choices that we can choose, either column, line, bar, or and so on. I choose bar, and then just choose the one that you want here and click OK, and then it will pop up like this. And after that, we can see the complete pivot table here, and we actually can like choose what kind of year we want or month here. We just can click, and then it will focus on what year or what months that we want, like this here also. This thing really function because it really helps us to focus on each part and make it us more easy to read. Okay, now I'm gonna show for the statistic. I'm gonna explain in the chapter 4 that we use here, which is a descriptive statistical measure. And I'm gonna explain on how to calculate mode, median, and mean. For mean, we can use this formula, which is equal average, and then just take all the range from here and then drag until down to down, and then click enter. And then we will get this answer, which is 76910. For median, we use this formula, which is equal median, and then just drag from what I said before, from above and until the end. For the mode, you can use this mode. There is no same value, and that's why it became like that. For standard deviation, you can use this formula, which is equal STDEV dot S. Just drag from above and until the end, and we will get the answer, which is 62097.28. For kurtosis, for coefficient of kurtosis, the function is to measure the quantifies the shape of a probability distribution. We can use this formula, equal curt, drag from C2 until C46, and then click enter. You will get this negative 0.60933. And for the skewness, coefficient of skewness is to measure of the asymmetry of a probability distribution. These are the formula, equals q, and then just drag from the C2 until C46, and we will get the answer, which is 0.676938. All of this is a descriptive statistical, and here it is a correlation. And as we can see, all the correlation is 1.0, and a correlation of 1.0 indicates a perfect positive correlation. It is because if the correlation coefficient is greater than 0, it is a positive relationship. Okay, here I'm gonna show you the data that we got from the website given by our lecturer. This is the data for the whole, which is bilangan pengeluaran pasport Malaysia mengikut kategori bagi tahun 2019 until September 2021. From this whole data, we can analyze the number of minimum pengeluaran pasport, which is min, and then the number of pengeluaran maximum, total amount of pengeluaran sum, average number of years, count, and also count if. First thing first, on how we calculate the minimum, we just use this formula, which is equal min, and then we drag from C49, and then we just drag until K49, and then click enter, and then we will get the answer, which is 52. This is for line category. And same thing also for the max. We use the same formula, which is equal max, drag from C49 until K49, click enter, and then you will get the answer, which is 3,460,961, which is for biasa category. Then for the sum, we use the formula equals sum C49, drag until K49, click enter, and then we will get this answer, which is 4,077,24573. And then for the average, we use the formula, which is equal average, get here from A4 and until A49, and then just click the enter, and then we will get this answer, which is 2020. For the count if, we use the formula, which is equal count, and then drag from A4 to A48, and then we will get the answer, which is 45. And lastly, for the count if, we use this formula, equal count if, take from this L4 until L48, and then just type this one, and then click enter, and then we will get the answer, which is 24. Okay, next, the second one, we use a logical function, which is if function, for analyze whether the number of pengeluaran based on its category in large or small size. For the biasa calculate, we use formula, this one, if, open bracket, click here, and then lebih besar equal 100,000, comma, type large, comma, small, close the bracket, and then click enter. After the result appears, just drag it down until here, so that all the result for another categories will also appears. Okay, next, we make a table which contains total amount of pengeluaran passport for every month each year. We also use formula of sum in this part. This data used to create chart. For create the chart, we highlight the data from the table above based on year. Like for the example for 2019, we select all the item and in the column and row, month and year, and then we just drag here, and then we just click on the button for the icon, for the button icon for chart, and then we will get this. This method also used for the next three chart, which is 2020, 2021, and also 2022. We use bar chart to analyze our data because it's more easy to us to understand and read the data. For example, in 2019 chart, the highest number of pengeluaran passport is 197,121 on December, and the lowest one is 133,225 on June. And in the chart for 2020, the highest number of pengeluaran passport is 188,998 on January, and the lowest one is 1563 on April. For chart 2021, the highest number of pengeluaran passport is 79679 on December, and the lowest one is 1325215 in June. For the chart 2022, the highest number of pengeluaran passport is 293308 in June, and the lowest one is 63712 in February. Okay, here we're gonna show our tableau that we already create. We create for each category, which is for bulan, tahun, also for diplomatic category, biasa, and rasmi, and we divided by age by group also. And this is for percuma, which is free, and this dashboard one shows the bulan and also the bar chart. Okay. Okay, for overall, in this part, the table shows the total number of passport issued by category monthly from 2019 to 2022. As we can see, this bar graph overviews the amount of passport issued by each category according to the years 2019, 2020, 2021, and 22. According to the data shown, categories for ordinary, which is biasa, collected the most highest amount during the 4 years, while the amount for others recorded the most least amount in those years. And at this portion, there are 4 categories in which the number of passports supplied is according to the situation, namely official, diplomatic, normal, and Hajj. Firstly, the diplomatic shows the highest number of passport, which is 118 of passport, while the lowest in 2020, 549 passport. Official recorded the highest number, 864 in 2022, and the lowest in 2020 as well. Different from the total number for official affair, which recorded the most value, which is 1,309,382 in 2019, and the least, which is 353,689 in 2021. Free collected a total of 2,100,275 in 2019, and the least amount, which is 2,828 in 2021. And the last one is this pie chart shows that the highest number of passports issued last year was dominated by the elderly, while the student group recorded the least amount, as we can see above. Okay, and the last part here is the recommendation. For the recommendation, we're gonna talk about how to improve the number of international passport expenses in Malaysia. For the first point is Passport Malaysia International PMA must carry out the business of making passport online. Passport Malaysia International PMA must carry out the business of making passport online to make it easier for the public to make their passport. With these people, especially the young people, they will be interested in making passport and will increase the number of passport issued in Malaysia. The second point is implement low prices for young people and students. The reasonable price of making a passport can reduce the burden of students who will continue their studies abroad. This way can increase the number of young people to register for the passport. And the last point is extend the validity period of the passport. The authorities should extend the validity period of the passport. For example, from making it just only for 5 years to 7 years of legal valid so that entering and exiting the country becomes easier, especially for those involved in official and diplomatic affairs. And I think that's all from us. Thank you.